Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In the previous video, we have completed product part of Cafe Management System project. If you are not seen that video, just go to the description and check out the link. In this video, we are going to write the code for manage order. So let us start with that. So let me open the VS Code. Here you can see, and here we have to move to the services. And in this, we have to go for the product service. And here first we need to create few methods. So get products by category. This method we need to create, and in this we just need to pass the id, and so return this .http client .get, and in this we need to pass this .url plus, and here we need to write product / get by category / and we also need to pass the id, so I'm going to write like id. And after that, one more method here we need to create, so get by id. So here we need to just pass the id, and in return we will get the product of that particular id. So return this .http client .get, and this .url, this one, plus double quote / product / get by id / plus id, put semicolon at the end. And if you want to format this, right click on this format, I can see format. After that, we have to create one more service here. So the service name will be bill. So right click on this, open the integrated terminal, so ng generate service, and we're going to write it bill and press enter. So you can see a service will be created. It started the process. You can see file has been created. So we have to move inside of this one, and here first we need to import the URL. So URL equals to environment dot API URL, this one. Then we need to import HTTP client, and after that, here we need to create few methods. So the first method will be generate report, and in this we are going to expect data, and it should be any type, and it should return this .http client .post, and this .url will be there, and plus double quote / after plus press enter / bill / generate report / comma data we need to pass comma, and after that we also need to pass the header. So new http headers, this one, dot brackets and dot set, and here we have to write content dash type comma application / JSON. We need to pass this one. After that, the next method we need to create it to get the PDF. So get PDF, and in this we are also expecting data, and it should be of any type. And here little bit different, here we have to write observable, this one, and it will import it from here. And after that we need to write a blob, and here we have to write return this .http client .post method, this .url plus / bill / get PDF, this API we need to call, and in this whatever the data we have to pass, and here we have to write response type, and here we also need to write blob, and at last put semicolon and save this. So you can see service has been created. So now we have to install a package actually in this project. So whenever we got any like PDF from the backend, we need to download it. So for that we are using, so open in the front-end folder, right click on this, open in integrated terminal, and here we have to write npm install file saver, and after that space types slash file dash saver, this one, and then we have to press enter. So it will install the package for us. So file saver at the rate types, yeah. So after that let it install it, and just wait for a few seconds. So you can see the package has been installed. So now we have to like open this app material component. Over here we have to generate a component. So open integrated terminal, and after that ng generate component and manage order. We need to write this, and we have to wait for a few seconds for this. Also you can see a component has been generated. So let me delete this one, and let me also stop this service, and let me also start it again, and let me minimize this. May like the package need to be synced, for that reason I restarted this one. Okay, so after that let me minimize. Okay, so our services is up now, and now after that we need to move to the material routing, this part, and here we need to just copy paste this part of the code, and let put comma over here, let me paste it over here, and then we need to change this to order, and here we also need to change to the manage order component, this one, and here we also need to pass that user role, because this will be accessible for user as well as admin, and after that save it, you can see. And after that we also need to display the buttons, so we have to move to the shared folder, and we have to move to the menu item over here, and here we need to write here, put comma and state, and the state value will be order, and the name will be manage order, and the icon will be the list and underscore alt, and role for both user we want to allow, so I'm going to write like this, and let me format this one. You can see, let me save this, let me show you the UI. You can see manage order, when I click on it, it's route to the manage order page. So it means that whatever we did till now, it's working fine. Okay, so after that we have to move to the manage order, and we have to move to the ts file of this one, and here we need to create few columns and fields, those things. So displayed columns, we have to first rewrite this one, and it should be a string type, and here we need to write name first one, and then category. After category, the next will be price and quantity, and then we have to write for total, and then we have to write for edit. Okay, after that data source we are expecting, so data source, and it should be like this, and manage order form, and it should be any type, and form group, this one we need to import, and we also need to get the list of the categories, so I'm going to get the categories, and it should be any type, and it should be like this, and we are also expecting products, and products any type, and it should be like this, and after that we are also expecting price and any total amount. So this variable we are going to use it further, so it should be of number type, and initial value will be 0, and response message, and it should be of any type. Okay, after that we also need to import some here which we are going to use. So form builder, this one, form builder we need to import, and after that private category service, and here we need to import category service, this one, and after that private product service, and here we also need to import, sorry, product service, actually we need to import product service, this one, and after that we need to import snack bar service, so snack bar service, this one, and after that we need to call bill service, and bill service we need to import, and private ngx service and ngx ui loader service, this one. So these things we are going to use it. Now we have to create the form. So here we have to write this dot ngx service dot stop. First we start we need to, and then we need to create like this dot manage order form, this one, and this dot form builder dot group, this one, and here we also need to write name, and it should be null, and we are going to validator, we need this one, dot required we need to pass, and we also going to validate the pattern, so we are going to write pattern, and from global constant we need to call name regex. Okay, so after that we also need to create few more in the similar way. So email, and this part will be the same actually, so let me copy this and paste it over here, and we just need to change it over here. So this will be email, actually email regex, and after that let me copy this again over here again, and this will be contact number, so contact number regex, and here we need to change to contact number, this one. Let me decrease the size of this one, and after that the payment method, and it should be like null, and validator dot required we need to write, and after that we are going to copy this line of the code multiple times over here. So this one is for product, and this one is category, after that quantity, price, and total. So let me change it one by one. So this will be for product, and this will be for category, and after that the next, okay, we forget to put a comma at the end, so you can see it's also giving us error. Let me put a comma at the end of each line, and after category the next will be for quantity, and quantity, after that we have price, and at last total, so total, and the total should be 0, okay, not null. And after that we also need to add few more variables in the global constant, so we are going to move over there. So in the shared folder we have global constant, move back over here, and here we have to write public static, and here we have to write product exist error, and it should be of a string type, and the message we want to display is product already exist, this message, and after that the one more we want to display is static, and here we have to write product added, and it should be also a string type, and here we need to write product added successfully, this message, and let me save this. You can see it's building successfully. And after that we have to move back over here, and here we have to first load the data, so like all the categories, right? So get category, and we have to call this method. So let me copy this one and let me this dot paste it over here, and we're going to call this method whenever this page going to load. Okay, so after that we are going to move over here, and here we need to write this dot category service dot get categories, and after that we need to subscribe, and the response, okay, it should be in the bracket, so response any type, and here we need to write like this dot ngx service dot stop, this one, and this dot category is equals to response. We need to pass the whatever the response we are going to get, we are going to store in the categories. Okay, and after that if there is any chance that we got any error, we also need to handle it. So I'm going to write the code for that. So here this dot ngx service dot stop, and here like if error dot question mark dot message, and here we have to write this dot response message is equals to error question mark dot message, and an else condition we are going to write this dot response message is equals to global constant dot generic error, this one, and this dot snackbar service dot open snackbar, this dot response message, and global constant we need to pass error. So after that, okay, and after that we have to like create one more method over here, that will be to get like product by category. So let's say some user selected some different category, on the basis of that we have to get all the products related to that category. So for that we have to create a method. So get products by category, this method we are going to create, and the in this we are also expecting some value, and value will be okay any type, and this dot product service dot get products by category, this method we need to call, and in this we need to pass value dot id, whatever the id we will get we are going to pass that, and then we have to subscribe, and here we have to write response any, and here we have to write this dot product, this one products actually, and whatever the response we are going to get we are going to pass inside of that, and after that this dot manage order, this form dot controls, and here in this we are going to whatever the price like the field we are going to set the value. So the set we are going to set the value should be like this. Okay, we're going to make set like this, and the quantity we also want to remove. So let me copy this line of the code and paste it over here, and one more time, and here we are going to change this to quantity, and here we need to change this to total, and the value should be 0. Here we need to write as 0, and here if we got any error we need to handle it. So I'm going to write here any, and here inside of this first we are going to copy it from here, this line of the codes. Let me copy this, let me paste over here and save this. So this will get all the categories, and whenever any like categories has been changed, so whatever the selected data in the price, quantity and the total, we are going to clean it. Okay, that's the reason we have did this, and after that we have to get the product details, right? So whenever any, let's say first we selected the category, on the basis of that we got the products. Okay, so then we have to select that particular product. So after that we have to display the details like price, quantity, those things. So for that we are going to create this method. So product details and the value we are expecting, and it should be any type. And here this dot product service dot get by id, this method we need to call, and value dot id we need to pass, and dot subscribe. And here we have to write response any type, and in this we need to write like this, and this dot price, and the price response dot price, whatever we get, sorry, price, we are going to pass it in that variable. So after that what we are going to do is we are going to copy these three lines and paste it over here. And in this condition we have to just need to change, so response dot price, here we need to write like this, and the quantity will be 1, and this dot price we have to pass here, and we have to multiply by 1, or if we not multiply then still it will pass that 1. Okay, so after that there's a maybe chance that we got any error, so error any, and we are going to copy it, paste it from above. So this part I'm going to copy it, and let me paste it over here and save this. After that we have to set the quantity. So there's a field in our UI that having we can change the id quantity, like initially it's set to 1, you can change this to 4, 5, 10 and all. So to set that we are going to write the code. So set quantity, and we are also expecting any value, and here where temp variable we have created. So this dot manage form dot controls, this one, and in the quantity we are expecting, we are going to get it, and quantity dot value, this one. And if temp is like this 0, in that case this dot manage order, this one, controls this, and in the total field we are going to set the value, and the value will be like this. So this dot manage order form dot controls, and here we are going to get the quantity dd and dot value, and whatever the price of that we are also going to get it. So manage manage order form dot controls, and here we have to pass like price, we have to get it from price field, and then dot value. So we are going to get it. So let me explain you what we write over here. So basically in the totals field we are going to multiply the quantity, and whatever the price of that we are going to multiply it, and we are going to set in the total field. That's all we are doing over here. And after that there is else if condition, like temp is not equals to singles. In that case we need to write this dot manage order form, this one, controls, and here we need to write quantity, sorry, in the singles we have to write quantity dot set value, we are going to set the value, and that will be 1. And we also need to manage the same above line of the code we need to copy paste over here. Let me copy this and let me paste it over here. So this is all related to how we manage the quantity. After that, let me save this page and after that we have to write the code for validate the product add button. So whenever like some value will be there, then only we are going to enable the add button. Okay, so for that we are going to write the code. So validate product add button, and here we need to write if this dot manage order dot controls, this one, and having total dot value is equals to 0, or this dot manage order dot controls, and here we need to write total and dot value is equals to null, or this dot manage order form dots control dot quantity, actually single quotes quantity, and value is less than equals to 0. In that case we are going to return true, and else condition we are going to return false. Okay, so let me explain you the what is this. So the total field which we have created, input field, if the value is 0 or if it is null, in that case we are going to disable the button, and the quantity value should be less than or equal to 0. In that case we are also going to disable that button. Okay, so after that this will be for let me put little bit of space over here, and after that we also need to validate submit button, like final submit. So for that we have to write if this dot total amount is equals to 0. In that case we need to disable that final submit button, or this dot manage form order dot controls like name and dot value is equals to null. In that case we also need to disable. Let me copy this part of the code and let me paste it over here. Okay, and here we need to change this to contact email first. Let me write here email, and after that email the next will be for contact number. So let me paste it over here. Let me put the space here a little bit and let me paste here, and then we are going to write for contact number, and after contact numbers the payment method we need to check. So let me paste here, and here we need to write payment method, this one, and after that we also need to check like the form is valid or not, like for that. So here we need to write or not, and here this dot manage form and dot controls, this one, and here we need to pass the contact number. So contact number, this one, and it should be like a valid, this one we need to write, and we are going to copy this one, my bad. So copy this one line of the code and paste it over here, and we just need to change this contact number to email actually. Okay, so maybe you are a little bit confused because it's a big line, so I will also reduce this line, and in else condition we are going to write false, return false. Okay, so it's giving us some kind of error. Maybe we did not close the bracket somewhere. Yep, I think, yeah. So now it's correct. So let me show you the complete in one line. Let me press enter, And let me also decrease this one and this part also. And here you can see in the single line, you can see, so this is the total amount is equals to 0, and no, this name should not equals to, like, if equal to null we are going to disable, and if the email is null then we are going to disable it. Contact number null, disable, and the payment we are also going to disable it. And if contact number is not valid, okay, so it should be not close over here actually. So let me delete this one. Here we need to close that bracket, not equals, and yeah, now it's good. So this bracket will be closed over here. So if this is not valid, so like in that case we are going to disable that button, and like if it is valid, then we are going to allow it. Okay, so this is the if else conditions for validate the submit button. After that, we are going to write the code to add that particular product in our, like, the table actually, or data. So this will the add method we are going to call, and inside this we have to write var form data, and this dot manage form dot value. We are going to go get those values. So var product name, this one, and this dot data source dot find, we are going to find that actually. So to finding we will be for on the basis of id actually. So the id will be there in each and every product we have. So number, and here we need to write put semicolon, and after that here we need to write e dot id and equals to form data dot product dot id. We are going to find it out, and if match, then it will having some data, otherwise product name will be undefined. So if undefined, we got the data, so it means that product does not exist in particular table, and we are going to proceed. And in else condition, we are going to this dot snackbar service, we are going to call this one and open snackbar, and we are going to display that global constant dot product exist error, and the global constant, and we have to pass the error message. And in if condition we have to write this dot total amount what we have, and here this dot total amount plus format data dot total amount whatever is there. So we have to pass like add those. Okay, and if after that we have to write this dot data source dot push in that particular array, and here we need to write id form data dot product and dot id we have to write, and the name and form data dot name, here we need to write okay, so product dot name, and after that category form data dot category dot name, and after that quantity form data dot quantity we need to write like this, and after that price, and the price will be like we are also going to get it from form data. So form data dot price, this one, and total form data dot total we need to write like this, and put semicolon at the end of line. Let me show you this complete line at once. Let me press here enter. You can see, so id form data we are going to expect it from form data dot product dot id, and after that name form data, let me format this one, so format document, you can see, so this will be push, and after that category name quantity from data dot quantity price from here, and from data dot price. Okay, so after that we have to write here this dot data source is equals to bracket like this, and then we have to put three dots, and after that this dot data source, and then we have to write that this dot snackbar service dot open snackbar, and then we have to write global constant dot product added, this one, sorry, product added, the first one, and here we need to write success and put semicolon. So this is related to add, how we'll handle add one. And now to delete that, so we have to write here handle delete action, and here we have to expecting some value, so value, whatever the value we want to delete, and the element we want to delete, and here we need to write like this dot total amount, and from total amount we are going to like subtract it from here, so elements dot total value, whatever we're going to get it, we are going to subtract it from the total amount. And after that this dot data source dot splice, we are going to delete it, and whatever the value we want to delete, and whatever one we need to pass, and after that this dot data source is equals to, and here put three dots, and this dot data source we need to write like this, so it will delete our whatever the product in the data source, it will delete that particular if we hit this one with these values. Okay, after that this one we also need to do the final submit, right? So as you in the this video we have installed a package, so we also need to import it. So move back over here in the top of this page, so after that we write here import, and here we need to write save as this one, and you can see it automatically imported from file saver. Okay, so after that we have to move back over here at the end, and then we have to create submit action like this, and here we are going to expect a where form data, and this dot manage orders dot value, this one, and where data, and here we need to write name, and form data, this one, dot name actually, and the same way we need to copy paste like 4 times actually this one. So let me copy the paste, sorry, 1 2 3 and 4 times, and let me change here email, let me copy and paste it over here, email we are expecting. After that contact number, so contact number we need to paste it over here also. After contact number, the next will be payment method, let me paste it over here, and after payment method next will be total amount, okay, total amount, this one, and here in the instead of form dot total amount we have to write this dot total amount, this one, and after that you need to pass the product details, right? So details, and then we have to convert to JSON to a stringify actually, so in stringify, and in this we need to pass that this dot data source whatever we have. Okay, and after that we need to hit a API actually. So okay, here we need to start this dot ngx service dot start the loader, and here from here we need to write this dot build service, we need to call this one, and generate report, and in this we need to pass the data, and then we have to subscribe, and here we need to write response, and it should be of any type, and here we need to write this dot. Okay, so we also need to create a method over here. So let me create that method. So we need to call that one. So download file, this method we are going to create, and it should be like accept value any of type, and this method we need to call actually. So let me paste it over here, and in this whatever the response we are going to get, from that we are going to get UUID, put a question mark over here, and then we need to pass that data. After that we have to write here manage order form dot reset. We need to do reset, and we also need to remove the data source value. So this dot data source is equals to, delete that, and we also need to remove the total amount to 0. Okay, and there is a maybe chance that we got any error, so to also need to handle it. So error any, and here we are going to copy paste it from above code. So I'm going to copy it from this place. Okay, get product details, from this place I'm going to copy it and let me paste it over here. You can see. So after that we have to write the code for this method. So here actually we are passing the whatever the UID, right? So this is the file name. So let me change this to file name, and here let me open this one, and where data, and here we need to write UUID, and here we need to pass the file name, and this dot build service we need to call, and get PDF, this one we need to call, and here we need to get the data dot subscribe, and here we need to write response, and it should be of any type, and here we need to write here save as, this one we need to call, and whatever the response we got, and file name plus dot pdf we need to write like this, and this dot nginx service dot stop over here, and then we have to just save this. Okay, so after that we need to move to the UI or HTML part of this page. So let me move over here, let me delete this one, and from here we need to write like first we are going to write for mat card, this one, and in this first we need to write here span bold, and here we have to write manage order, and then we have to create buttons, and mat flat button, this one, and the color will be primary, and the class we need to use it to float to right, and it should be disabled, and validate submit, this method we need to call, and after that we also need to like click, so click and submit action we need to call this one method, and here we have to write submit and get bill, this one we need to write. Let me save this. So let me show you the UI, what we are able to see. You can see like this right now it's visible because we did not have CSS, and you can see the button is also disabled because we did not create any form till now. And let me put over here HR, and then we have to write a mat card, and here we need to write B bold for bold, and here we have to write a span, and here we have to write customer details, and after that we need to write form, and the form group will be manage this one, we have created a form, right? So manage order form, this one we need to paste it over here, And after that, let me close this one, form. And then we have to create few divs. So fx flex and the fx layout, and here we have to write actually, sorry, my bad, let me revert what I did. Yeah, so here we have to write column, and after that, inside that we have to write div, and here we need to write fx layout, and here we have to write raw wrap, this one. Then we have to create few fields here. So mat form field, this one, and here it should be appearance will be fill, and fx flex, this one, and the mat label, this one, and here we need to write name. After that, here we need to write input, and mat input, this one, and form controller name will be name, and it is required, so I'm going to write as required. And then we have to write here mat error, this one, and here we need to start ng if condition when we need to display this one. Then we have to write here manage form dot controls dot name dot touched, and manage form dot controls dot name dot invalid. In these two conditions we need to display this one, and here we have to write a span, and here we need to write a star ng if condition. Let me paste it over here, ng manage form dot controls dot name dot error dot required, and here we need to write this message, this field is mandatory, and after that we are going to copy the same line of the code and paste it over here, and here we need to change this to pattern, and here we have to write this field is invalid, this one. And after that we need to just copy this mat input, and let me paste it over here. Let me decrease the size of this one, actually that one is not required, and let me paste it over here. Let me put a little bit of space over here. Then here we need to write here email, the next field will be for email, and here we need to write email. Let me copy this email, and here we have to paste this here, here, and here. All this place we have to paste the email, actually. And after that the next will be for contact number, so let me copy this same line of the codes, and let me paste it over here, and here we need to write contact number, and here we need to write contact number, and here we need to just change it over here, here, and here also. So you can see if I go to the UI, it will be visible like this right now, because we did not having any padding and those things. That's the reason it's visible like this. We was not having any CSS till now. Okay, so after this the next will be for payment methods, right? So this like error handling will be same, so let me copy this one, let me paste it over here, and here we need to change this to payment method, and the control name, form control name will be also going to change. So the control name you can copy paste it from here, and here we need to paste it, the form control name. And after that we need to like this, it should be mat select, right? It should be not be input field. So mat select we need to write like this, and it should be, let me copy this line of the code and let me close this one. Okay, and inside this we also need to put some options, so mat options, this one, and here we need to write cache, and the value according to it we need to pass, so I'm going to write it cache. And let me copy this line of the code 2 times over here, 1 2, and here you can change, so credit card, and let me copy this over here, and let me also change it over here, so here we need to write a debit card, and here also. So you can also add n numbers of like this options here, and if I go to the UI it's look like this. Okay, so you can see, so the number, I think there is some error with the number, I believe. Okay, there is some error with the number, let me move a little bit up. Okay, it's giving us error because we write everywhere error only, so we need to write errors. So let me copy this one and paste it over here. We also need to change it over here also in the contact number. Now email, as we did copy paste, so we need to do the changes, and when we save it and when we move back over here, so it need to work fine. You can see now it's working fine. Okay, so now let me move back over here, and here we need to go outside of this mat card, and here we need to write HR, and again we have to write here bold and span, and here we need to write select product, this one, and again we are going to create a same form with the same form name actually, so form group, and here we are going to write manage, the same with this one actually, same this form we are going to create, and which having few values like other details which we left above. And here we need to close this one and the div, and here we have to write fx flex, and after that fx layout, and here we need to write column, and inside that div, and here we need to write fx layout, and here we need to write raw wrap in that, and after that here we need to display all the mat form field, this one, and we need to display all the column categories actually, so here we need to write fx flex. Okay, and here we need to write mat label, and here we need to write category, and after that we have to write mat select, this one, and the form group control name actually will be category, and whenever selected going to change, in that case we need to call a method which we have created over here. Let me show you which method I'm talking about. So the get product by category, so this method we are going to call it, so whatever the category has been changed, according to that we are going to get all the products, so for that we are calling it. So let me paste it over here, and here we have to pass the value, so event dot value, whatever the value we are going to pass it over there. So after that we also need to display all the options, so mat, let me decrease the size of this one again, so mat option, this one, and star ng for loop we are going to use, for loop, this one, and let category of categories, and here we have to pass the value, the value we also need to set, so I'm going to write a category, complete category, and inside this we need to display the category dot whatever the name of the category we need to display. If we save this, and you can see compile has been completed. If I move back over here, you can see we are able to see that. If I open the inspect mode, and let me show you the network tab, if we are going to select this one, you can see API is going to call it, right? You can see for ID1 we are calling it. So whatever the ID is there, right, we are going to call it according to it. You can see it means that it's working fine. So let me move back over here. And one more thing here we forget, so it should be in the mat card. So let me copy this and let me delete it over here. Let me put at the end of this form, and after that what we need to do is we have to just copy this mat, this part, and let me paste it below over here. And here we need to change in this one, so this will be product, and here we have to call some other method. So the method name will be get product details. This method we need to call. So let me here change that method, and from the event value we need to pass, and here we want products we are going to get. So products we need to display, and we also need to change this to product, this one, and we also need to change it over here, and we also need to change it over here, and here we also need to change to product. So you can see if I move over here, so it will has been look like this. So if I change this one to cake, and you can see it does not have anything in that. So if I change to tea, it will having one product, you can see. Okay, so let me move back over here, and after that we need to like write the code for like price and quantity. Okay, so let me write here. So mat, okay, we can do one thing, we can copy paste it from above. So let me copy the email, this one, email, and let me paste over here. So this is related to email, so let me change here to price, and here we need to change the form name also, so price, and things will be related to manage controller email, not email actually, so it should be like price, and it should be like this. Okay, actually it's no need to like show this part of the code, because it will be read only actually. Okay, so it the user cannot edit these things actually from directly from UI. That's the reason we are going to put it read only. If there is any value inside of this one, then we are making it as read only. Let me show you. If I move to the T, and if I select this one, you can see the 20, but I cannot edit this one because this one is a read only. Okay, so after mat form field, the next will be for quantity actually. So let me copy paste it over here, the same thing, and here actually we need to write here quantity T, and here we need to write here quantity, and here we need to like we does not make it as read only, and whenever the key up we have to call a method. So the method name will be like set quantity, this method we need to call actually. Okay, so this method we are going to call, and here we just need to pass whatever the event inside that. So dollar event, this one we need to pass, and hash input we also need to write this one. And here if you want to change it, you can change it. So let me change this to quantity, but I believe this one is really no need actually. So after this, the next will be for like total. So I'm going to copy it from this one, price. We are going to copy this one exactly same over here. So let me paste it over here. Let me decrease the size of this one also. So the things will be here, it will be, this will be total, and here we need to write total, and it should be also read only, and we can also change this one. And after that we need to like move to the UI. Let me show you how it look like. You can see. So let me put first CSS in this one because it's looking not good actually for me. So let me go to the CSS part and let me write here mat form field, this one, and here I'm going to padding. We are going to add like write 5 px padding and dot float right and float right, this one, and table width will be 100%, and after that mat card, this one padding, and we want to do it bottom padding actually, so 30, and we are going to write it 30 px and it will be important. Okay, and save it, and you can see build successful. Let me move back over here. So now you can see it's looking good actually, is as same as like in the quick overview video. Okay, so let me move to the code, VS Code again over here, and now we have to times to create the table, right? So let me put here HR, and let me move a little bit up this one, and here we want to write div class and responsive table, this one we need to write, and after that table mat table, this one, and data source, and here we need to write data source, this one, and after that class we need to write here mat dash gedit, this one, and here we need to write ng dot container, and here we need to write mat column div, this one, and here we need to write name and th, and here we need to write mat header cell and mat header cell def, this one we need to select. Let me delete this part, and here we need to write a name, and the next will be td and mat cell, this one, star and mat cell dev, this one, and let element, and here we need to write element dot name. Okay, so here we need to check once like if we did any mistake or not. So mg mat header cell will be there, after that mat cell div, this one, let element, and just like this. Yeah, it's correct. So let me copy this line of the codes and let me paste it over here for 1, this one, 2 and 3, and after that we also need to display the total. Okay, and let me change the rename it, and then we will move forward. So this will be actually for category. So let me copy this category, paste it over here, and here let me make C capital, and after category the next will be price. So let me copy the price, make P capital, after the price the next will be quantity, paste it over here, and Q should be quantity, and after quantity next will be total, and the total, here we also need to write total, and we need to write here total. Okay, and after that we also need to delete those things, right? So for that here we need to write ng container, this one, and here we need to write mat column div, this one, and here we need to write edit and th, this one, mat header cell and asterisk and mat header self, and here we need to write delete this part, and here we need to write delete, and after that td mat cell, and after that strict mat cell definition, and here we need to write here, sorry, um, here we need to delete, write here let element, and let I is equals to index, and the action sorry, class will be action link, and in this we have to button inside we need actually, so mat icon button, this one we need, and the color will be primary, and after that mat tooltip, here we have to write delete, and after that on click of that method we need to handle delete actually, so this method actually we need to call, and here we need to call right delete, and this one, and at first position we want to pass I index value, and then we have to pass the element, and inside that we also need to display the mat icon, so mat icon, and here we need to write delete. Okay, so let me save this, and let me decrease the size of this one, and let me go to, okay, we are getting some kind of error, so let me check it out. Okay, so we did not write the complete 2 lines, is still left, so tr mat header raw, and here mat header raw definition, this one, and in this we need to pass that whatever the columns we have created right over here. Let me go to the top of this one, and here we need to pass this one actually, so let me paste it over here, and it should be like sticky, and here it will be true, and after that close this one, and after that we also need to write tr mat raw and star mat raw def, this one, and let raw column, and we need to pass this one, and here you can see the UI, the table is visible, but there is no add button actually, so we also need to add actually, so let me move back over here, let me move a little bit up over here, and here below the form actually, and here we have to just create a div, and inside that we have to create a few buttons, so button, and here we need to write mat flat button, this one, and the color will be primary, and it should be disable when validate product, this method we need to call, so let me go to the validate product, add this method we need to call to enable or disable that button, so this method we need to call, and after that on click we need to call add method which we have created, so here we need to write add, and after that we also need to display the complete amount, so we also need to display in the button, so mat flat button, the color will be primary, and it should not disable, and it should having float right, and here we just need to write total amount, and here we need to display that, so total amount we need to write like this, and then save this. So now if we move to the UI, you can see it's exactly same as in quick overview video. Okay, so let me test it out one by one, so let me write here btech days, and here we are going to write here btech days@gmail.com. it's just a dummy email address. Okay, 123 123 1. Let me change to the cache, Let me select to the tea and let me select the black tea. Let me change the quantity. You can see the quantity has been changed. And if we write 1, 2, 3, you can see it's changing according to it. If I click on add, you can see product added successfully. If I try to add it one more, product already exists. We are getting the message. If you want to delete it, you can see we are able to delete it. If I try to add it again, you can see we are able to add it. Okay, let's check out the validation. You can see the validation is working fine because it disabled the button. If I delete this form, you can see still it's working. So after that, let's try to submit this. You can see submit API is going to hit now, and it will take few seconds to, I believe, yeah. You can see a PDF has been downloaded in our browser. Let me open it. You can see those each and every details over here. btechdays name is there, contact number is there, email address. You can see the payment way is there, right? And the name, category is there, T, quantity 1 to 3, price is there. You can see the subtotal actually. Okay, so let me add one more product in the T section. So let me write here T test. Let me write here 10. Let me select the T and test. Let me click on add. Let me go over here. Let me select the T and let me select that product. Few more products here. I'm going to make it as 10. Add. You can see. Let me add another product and I'm going to make it as 12 and add. You can see. And let me fill these details also. Test @gmail.com 123 123 1221 something like that, and then we are going to submit it. So it will hit the API. You can see it's downloaded. If I go over here, you can see the categories, you can see the names, and you can see the quantities, right? So it means that everything is working as expected related to manage product. So this is all about that. So I hope you guys like this video. So please hit like and subscribe my channel. Thank you.